Well, after it had been almost a decade since the Lord of the Rings trilogy ended, Peter Jackson delivered us a prequel trilogy to the Lord of the Rings trilogy. So let's talk about The Hobbit, An Unexpected Journey, which is celebrating its 10th anniversary this year. Big D's! Entertainment rankings and reviews. So, greetings, my fellow YouTubers, and welcome to Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. My name's Doyle, better known to as the Big D, and this time around I bring to you a review of the 2012 epic high fantasy adventure flick, The Hobbit, An Unexpected Journey, released by Warner Brothers for New Line Cinema and MGM, directed by Peter Jackson, who helmed the Lord of the Rings trilogy, from a screenplay by him, Fran Walsh, Philippa Boyens, and Guillermo del Toro. The film is based on the 1937 novel The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien, and the first installment of a Hobbit trilogy. I'm deciding to do this as well. Since I'm celebrating its anniversary just a little early because it was released on December 14, 2012, which is explain why I'm doing its anniversary a little early. From which after it came out in New Zealand a couple days before that. It's set in Middle Earth 60 years before the main events of The Lord of the Rings, and portions of the film are adapted from the appendices up to Tolkien's Return of the King. It tells the story of Bilbo Baggins, who is convinced by the wizard Gandalf to accompany 13 dwarves led by Thorin Oakenshield on a quest to reclaim the Lonely Mountain from the dragon Smaug. While unlike the Lord of the Rings trilogy, this series kind of got mixed reviews and what have you. So let's get into the story. Approaching his 111th birthday, the Hobbit Bilbo Baggins begins writing down the full story of his adventure 60 years earlier for the benefit of his nephew Frodo. Long before Bilbo's involvement, the Dwarf King Thor brought an era of prosperity for his kin under the Lonely Mountain until the arrival of the dragon Smaug. Destroying the nearby town of Dale, Smaug drove the dwarves out of their mountain and took their hoard of gold. Dwarf's grandson Thorin seized King Thranduil and his wood elves on a hillside nearby, and is dismayed when they leave rather than aid his people, resulting in Thorin's everlasting hatred of elves. In the Shire, 50-year-old Bilbo is tricked by the wizard Gandalf the Grey into hosting a dinner for Thorin and his company of dwarves: Balin, Dwalin, Fili, Kili, Dori, Nori, Ori, Oin, Gloin, Bifur, Bofer, and Bumper. Gandalf's aim is to recruit Bilbo as the company's burglar to aid them in their quest to enter the Lonely Mountain. Bilbo is unwilling to accept at first, but has a change of heart after the company leaves town the next day. Bilbo races to join the company. Traveling onward, they are captured by 3 trolls. Bilbo stalls the trolls from eating them until dawn, and Gandalf exposes the trolls to sunlight, turning them to stone. The company locates the troll's cave and finds treasure and elven blades. Thorin and Gandalf each take an elf-made blade, Orcist, and Glamdring, respectively. Gandalf also finds an elven dagger, which he gives to Bilbo. The wizard Radagast the Brown finds Gandalf in the company and recounts an encounter at Dol Guldur with the Necromancer, a sorcerer who has been corrupting Greenwood with dark magic. Chased by orcs, Gandalf leads the company through a hidden passage to Rivendell. There, Lord Elrond discloses a hidden indication of a secret door on the company's map of the Lonely Mountain, which will be visible only on Durin's Day. Gandalf later approaches the White Council, consisting of Elrond, Galadriel, and Saruman the White. and presents a Morgul blade, a weapon of the Witch King of Angmar, which Radagast obtained from Dol Guldur as a sign that the necromancer is linked to an eventual return of Sauron, while Saruman presses concern to the more present mayor of the dwarf's quest, requesting that Gandalf put an end to it. Gandalf secretly reveals to Galadriel that he had anticipated this and had the dwarves move forward without him. The company journeys into the Misty Mountains, where they find themselves amid a colossal battle between stone giants. They take refuge in a cave and are captured by goblins, who take them to their leader, the Great Goblin. Bilbo becomes separated from the dwarves and falls into a crevice where he encounters Gollum, who unknowingly drops a golden ring. Pocketing the ring, Bilbo finds himself confronted by Gollum. They play a real game, wagering that Bilbo will be shown the way out if he wins or eaten by Gollum if he loses. Bilbo eventually wins by asking Gollum what he has in his pocket. Noticing his ring is lost, Gollum realizes that Bilbo possesses it and chases him. Bilbo discovers that the ring grants him invisibility, but when he has a chance to kill Gollum, Bilbo spares his life out of pity and escapes while Gollum shouts his hatred towards the Hobbit Baggins. Alright, now for the ending. As always, you know the procedure. You have 5 seconds to stop this video, go to the description box below, and fast forward to the time below. If you've seen the movie already, please continue. Thank you, and here we go. Okay, you've been warned. Meanwhile, the Great Goblin reveals to the dwarves that Azog, an orc war chief who killed Thor and lost his forearm to Thorin in battle outside the dwarven kingdom of Moria, has placed a bounty on Thorin's head. Gandalf arrives and leads the dwarves in an escape, killing the Great Goblin. Bilbo exits the mountain and rejoins the company, keeping his newly obtained ring secret. The company is ambushed by Azog and his hunting party, and takes refuge in trees. Thorin charges at Azog, who overpowers and severely injures him with his warg. Bilbo saves Thorin from the orcs and challenges Azog, just as the company is rescued by eagles summoned by Gandalf. They escape to the safety of the Karak, where Gandalf revives Thorin, who renounces his previous disdain for Bilbo after being saved by him. They see the lonely mountain in the distance, where the sleeping Smaug is awoken by a thrush knocking a snail against a stone in the story. So what did I think of The Hobbit, An Unexpected Journey? Well, I've only seen this film a couple of times, but I think it's pretty good in some ways. Anyway, this film was released not almost 9 years after Return of the King, which that will be reviewed next year. But while despite unlike the Lord of the Rings trilogy, it got mixed reviews and what have you. Now, according to Rotten Tomatoes, they say Peter Jackson's Return to Middle Earth is an earnest, visually resplendent trip, but the film's deliberate pace robs the material of some of its majesty. I agree. Yeah, and they say that the film was the film's runtime was a little high as well. It could have just been trimmed down a little. And, well, its pacing could have just been a little bit better as well. But I did like the performances from the cast. Now, of course, we see some of the character, well, some of the characters we know from the books. Martin Freeman plays the young Bilbo Baggins, while we see Ian Holm, who played Bilbo in the Lord of the Rings trilogy. Sir Ian McKellen once again plays Gandalf, who of course he played in the Lord of the Rings trilogy as well. Richard Armitage plays Thorin. He was really good. Ken Stott plays Balin. Graham McTavish plays Dwalin. Let's see. And we had many others. Cate Blanchett plays Galadriel. Hugo Weaving plays Elrond, just like in the Lord of the Rings trilogy. Of course, Blanchett also played Galadriel in there. Christopher Lee once again plays Saruman, just like in the Lord of the Rings franchise. And Elijah Wood plays Frodo, who appears in this. Of course, his scenes take place shortly before the events of the Fellowship of the Ring. Playing Radagast is former Doctor Who Sylvester McCoy, and Gollum was once again done by Andy Serkis, who of course he portrayed him through motion capture as he did in the Lord of the Rings film trilogy. Serkis also acted as second unit director of the trilogy, as a matter of fact. And there's a host of others. Even Benedict Cumberbatch makes one of his early performances before Doctor Strange. He does Smaug's vocal effects as well as play the Necromancer. So that was pretty cool too. And again, I will say that the story wasn't too bad. I think its runtime could have just used a wee bit of trimming, and the pacing could have been better. But nevertheless, it was still good. Howard Shore did a good job with the score, and what have you. And the film would go on to make $1 billion worldwide, 1.017 billion, and became the fourth highest grossing film of 2012. So overall, The Hobbit: An Unexpected Journey, it's kind of a mixed bag, but soon later on it builds up a little steam and gets better though. So would I recommend it? I'd say yeah, sure, go ahead. I mean, if you've seen the Lord of the Rings trilogy and not this, then you should watch this before you go into the Lord of the Rings trilogy, since this serves as a prequel trilogy. In the next 2 years, we would get 2 sequels. The next one would be The Desolation of Smaug, and the next one would be The Battle of the Five Armies. So anyway, what did you think of The Hobbit: An Unexpected Journey? Let me know in the comments section below. If you like this video, click the like button, subscribe, and be a part of the Big D Nation. And join me next time when I bring to you a special spoiler-free review on the new Hulu film, Darby and the Dead. Thank you for watching, and if you like this, check out these other reviews. In the upper left-hand corner is my review on the film that started all for the Middle-earth series, The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring. Look for my review of The Two Towers coming up later on this month. In the upper right-hand corner is my review of the start of the prequel to another big franchise, the Harry Potter franchise, in Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. Or if you want another real epic masterpiece and what have you, go to the bottom left-hand corner and see the grand finale of the Harry Potter franchise with Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2. And the bottom right-hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe. If you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc., then I'm your guy. Thank you for watching. Until next time, I'm the Big D saying, see ya.